What is going on, guys? My name is Sean Barnard, and today I'm here with ohbetting.com, here to break down the latest major player to enter the sports gambling space, that being ESPN Bets, who most recently launched. They are legalized in 17 states. I want to take you through what to make of this platform, the pros and cons of utilizing it, and just a little breakdown of what to expect moving forward. Now, before I dive fully into it, I do want to recommend that you guys can check out a written form article of what I'm about to discuss today, as you can see on the right side of my screen here, that this does break it down in a little bit more of a complex way. So if you have any specific questions about the app as a whole, or anything regarding ESPN Bets, this is an awesome reference to refer to. And by the way, you can capitalize by getting a link to an awesome opportunity when it comes to a promotion to coat your account with a little extra earnings by referring right to this website. So that link is in the description to this video. But today I do want to talk a little bit about the sportsbook as a whole. Before I dive fully into it and take you a bit through how to place a bet, how to sign up, and everything else that you must know, I just want to give a little bit of context that you guys might be familiar with Barstool Sportsbook in the past, that Penn Entertainment kind of pulled out of their deal with Barstool and then went into business with ESPN to now launch this ESPN Bets app. Similar idea behind it, but different just execution here. And they're going to do a lot more with ESPN. The downloads have been off the charts to kick things off. So I want to take you a little bit about what to expect from it. So we'll begin by taking a look at it. Here is the overall interface. You can see this little mint color that you can see the numbers on here in the promotions. That is what the app looks like as a whole. So that's kind of what you can expect. I will say off the bat that I've had a more positive experience utilizing the app on my mobile device than I have on the desktop. For the sake of this video, I'm sharing my screen on a desktop. So slight difference there, but for the most part, still does get the job done. But I will say I do like the mobile version a little bit better. The first thing you're going to do is go to the sign up button here in the top right. This, you're going to have to enter the last four digits of your social security number, give your state issued ID, driver's license, or passport, and just create an account. Nothing out of the norm as far as what can to be expected there. The overall process is pretty seamless. I did not have a real difficult time with it when creating my account. But the biggest thing that I would like to note is, as I mentioned, with them being previously partnered with Barstool Sportsbook, that if you do have an account created under Barstool Sportsbook, you can directly carry that over to the ESPN Bets, that it will allow you to keep that same login. So it is something to keep in mind, and it does not stop you from capitalizing on a potential welcome bonus. So make sure to cash in on that when you can. Capitalizing on those bonuses are the best way to coat your account with additional earnings, to minimize your risk and maximize your potential earnings in the long run, and just create a better overall betting experience for you. But now that we are logged in, this is a look at the app as a whole. We're going to begin. The first thing you're going to do once you are logged into the account is to deposit some money, because there is some inherent risk with sports gambling. Even with all the wagers and promotions that you can kind of have to start off with, you do have to deposit some money. So as far as the payment methods that are available on ESPN Bet, you have online banking, a debit card, PayPal, VIP preferred, Skrill, which is not available on all sportsbook and is a little bit unique here. Credit card, you can do cash at a casino, as well as a wire transfer. So a ton of diverse options here, just about any way possible that would be best for you. You can utilize on ESPN Bets. And the last thing to note is it is a $10 minimum deposit on the sportsbook as a whole. And as I mentioned, taking advantage of the promotions is the best way. The most lucrative offers tend to happen with that welcome bonus. So make sure you're kicking things off right at the start. But now that we are logged in here, let's take a look at how to place a wager. And you can see a couple featured bets already popping up, a couple promotions that are already there. That is one of the more unique aspects of ESPN Bets, is they have, as you can see, Scott Van Pelt on the screen here, that they have their figureheads and personalities, not only talking about the wagers on TV, but also having them right there in front of you for either to tail or fade. So if you have your favorite analyst and want to join in on them, that is one of the things that ESPN Bets is trying to tie all together. But let's take a look at a bet as a whole here. We're going to go over to the NFL section. We are in the full football swing right now. So as you can see, at the time I'm recording this, before the Eagles and Chiefs Monday night game, there is also a full slate of games behind this before the Thanksgiving matchup between the Packers and Lions, Commanders and Cowboys, and 49ers and Seahawks, as well as the rest of the NFL slate for this week. Cincinnati Bengals received some tough news with Joe Burrow being out, the torn ligament in his hand. But you know what? Maybe I have some belief that this team can pull around it. The Steelers are somehow 6-4, have not looked impressive on the season. So I want to bet them to win on the money line. Take that at even money. I simply press that right there. Jumps right over to the bet slip on the right, and then you just wager the amount you desire. So if you were to put 25 in to pay a potential payout of $50 there, boom, you just do that, click place bet, and it is as simple as that. But maybe you really want to get involved in this game, that you don't want to just do it from the even money perspective. Let's click a little deeper. And one of the things that I like about the ESPN Bet setup So you can move the line as you see fit. That See, Cincinnati is a +1 on the spread here. You think Vegas got that wrong, and you want to jump them to say, what about 3-point favorites? So I expect the Bengals to win by over a field goal on this match. If I can get that at +140 value, and the same process here that you click it, gets added to your bet slip, and then you type your desired amount. So if I was to put $20 on that, so 20 to win 48. So rather than the 25 to win 50 on the even line and money line, you do 20 to win 48 for the -3. So that is a way that you can kind of manipulate the line and find some ways that are more entertaining or enjoyable for you to bet at your preference. And the same exact principle applies to the total points. If you want to move this up to maybe over 38.5 at +145, if you think that there's going to miraculously be some offensive firepower, or if you expect this to be a straight up rock fight and go under 27.5 at +215 value, can't rule that out with Kenny Pickett and no more Joe Burrow for Cincinnati. But maybe you want to jump into the player props here. Little early in the week, so no player props available at this time, but you can see the game props already up there with the first half money line. But you know what? Let's slide over and take a look at the NBA. You can either scroll at the top when you go to the home screen or at any point drop on the left. I do like how it is organized here, that they have the featured, kind of their most commonly bet, as well as scroll down to the all sports. In total, there's 17 different sports that are currently available on ESPN Bets, and it sounds like they have plans to unveil more in the future. So that is something to keep an eye on. But as I mentioned, let's drop over to the NBA. You can see all the matchups of the day, where it is Bucks versus Wizards, Celtics, Hornets, Nuggets, Pistons. It goes on and on. And beyond that, they have some specials, some features, where this is a fun one to get involved in. The highest scoring team on the day. So kind of betting across all the games is a little bit fun there. There are futures for each team, whether it be the championship winner, the conference winner, the division winner. They also have it broken down from a player future standpoint, whether it be MVP, defensive player of the year, rookie of the year, sixth man of the year, and everything in between, most improved. So let's take a look at this. The playoffs here and the in-season tournament. I like these odds here. The in-season tournament providing a little bit of a wrinkle this year. I don't think anyone's truly sure how to wager on this as a whole or how much the mindset changed. So let's stay away from this. But I want to put together a little playoff parlay here. So let's say the Brooklyn Nets +150 to make the playoffs. I like that number there. So I'm going to click on that. The Indiana Pacers +125 to make it or to not make it. A little bit surprised by that. But let's jump around. Maybe let's take a look at the Cleveland Cavaliers -1,000. A surprise they're that high, but I do feel confident. Let's throw them in here. And that's a little too stiff for me. So let's leave that out. But this is the way that you go about the futures and create that. So I would suggest stick with the Nets for this to make the playoffs line at +150. Drop a $20 wager, and that would pay out a potential payout of $50 there. So a fun way to wager along with that. Another factor that I did want to jump in is the live betting. We know that the betting experience has kind of transformed into a nonstop event at this point in time, that you don't want to be left behind by missing out on a wager as the game tips off. You want to be able to get involved even after the fact. So ESPN Bets does allow it to be the case with their available live betting. Let's look at the games that are going on right now. We have Iona versus High Point going on in men's basketball here. 61-41, Iona with 11:45 left in the half, or left in the game. Actually, I think Iona's got a little bit of spark in them left there. I'm surprised by this result at this time. Let's jump on that +15.5. Let's get this Nets bet out of there, and let's jump on that. If I was to put $21 down for a potential payout of 41 +15.5, and even though this game is midway through going on right now, you just wager on the exact same way. And the only thing to note about live betting is you do have to be quick with it, be on top of it, because these lines are constantly changing. You don't want to be left out if there is an opportunity to wager that you want to take advantage of. And to touch on the parlay standpoint, that you can combine parlays over the length of the game too. So if I want to also jump into the Oakland versus Loyola Marymount game, let's say I like the over of 156.5 there. We're going to jump on that, and boom. And as you can see, as I mentioned, the odds are constantly changing. I'm going to click accept changes there, and boom. So the over of 156.5, and I own it at +15.5. I can parlay those at +474 odds there. If I was to put $12 on this one, and there we go, the odds changing again, but that would lead to a potential payout of 62.82. So as I mentioned, you do got to be on your toes. You do have to be active with it, but that you can do this whether it is a live betting or just traditional standpoint. And here are a couple boosts, some exclusives to the ESPN bets. They have a lot of these, the Aaron Dolan's play of the day. So as I mentioned, that they have kind of their ESPN personalities getting in on the mix and in on the fun there through their specials. And that is something to always keep in mind, that you should kind of keep an eye on these promotions, especially at the start. It feels like ESPN Bets is laying it on pretty thick for the available promotions. And that is an awesome way to take advantage if you see fit. So, overall, just to break down my review of ESPN Bets, I do think this is a potential industry changer just because of the foothold that they're grabbing in the early goings. The downloads have been off the charts and above what they expected. And just to review what I believe on the sportsbook as a whole, the welcome bonus, I'm going to give a 5 out of 5 at this point in time. One of the most generous just welcome bonuses that I've seen on the markets. And it feels like this is something that obviously it's their hard launch and something that they're trying to get as many people involved from the start as possible. But I do think this is a great time to get involved for that exact reason, that you can coat your account with those additional earnings and, minimize your risks, maximize your potential earnings by capitalizing on that. And once again, the best way to do that is by checking out ohbetting.com, that we have a link to make sure that you are taken care of and put yourself in the best spot to have the best possible betting experience. So make sure to check that out. The link right here in this description. Beyond that, the payment options, I'll go 5 out of 5 on the payment options as well. I really like that they do offer Venmo and Skrill, and especially when they aren't as widely available in a state like Ohio. Any possible way that you kind of, or every person, there should be a possible way for them to get money into their account and participate in the overall betting experience. It is more diverse than some of the competitors on the marketplace. So I think that's a huge point in their favor. So I do give them a 5 out of 5 there. The Sportsbook app as a whole, I'm also going to give a 5 out of 5. That they kind of kept this under wraps before the launch, but now that it is here, it is clear that they are jumping on it and it is in full force. I think that as I mentioned, I think the mobile version is a little bit easier to manage than is the desktop. I think from a just pure technological standpoint that some of the competitors have a slight edge over ESPN Bets, but they still offer a nice sampling of everything you could possibly want to wager on, 17 sports as a whole, and the functionality has been pretty smooth. I haven't had any issues other than still just getting used to the overall layout and everything that comes with it, but the actual usage itself has been above solid at this point in time. The variety and features, I'll give a 4 out of 5. That right now 17 overall sports is pretty good. It feels like they're going to build off this, that they're kind of labeling it as like a baseline and there is more to come. There's already some pretty diverse options, so I think that's a really strong start in that category. So I don't want to give full marks just because there's some that people might be searching for that isn't quite available, but for my personal usage, I've been nothing but satisfied in that category yet. And customer support, I will also give just a 4 out of 5. Right now, the phone and email support are the only options. Launch day was a little bit hectic with the customer support, which is understandable. So I'm not going to take off too seriously with that. And I will say that for the loan issue that I had, that I did have to jump on the customer support line, it hit me with like 300 people that I was waiting on, but it cruised right through it and ultimately got the job done pretty quickly. And my solution, there was a solution to the issue that I had. So I do give them points there that they were on top of it. They did get everything taken care of in a rapid fashion, and I was not waiting nearly as long as I thought I would. So 4 out of 5 for customer support. As I mentioned, I do think that the ESPN Bets could be an industry changer in the long run. Be interesting to see where it goes from here, but I do think it is a place where you can have an extremely profitable and enjoyable betting experience on. So make sure to check that out. Click the link in the description to maximize on your potential promotions on ohbetting.com. And appreciate you guys. Best of luck on all your plays, and I'll talk next time.